Everybody, welcome to Storm Talk. Hopefully the computer will cooperate with me tonight and we can do this in one shot and get it done. But real quick, here are the stats for the snow season so far, which remains at 0 for us. We normally should have 1.1 to date, so yeah, we're starting to lose ground here a little bit. Last year, of course, that 3.7 was the anomaly in November. We had no snow in December last year. It wasn't until January 23rd before we saw measurable snow again. Keep that in mind. All right, on the board tonight. Got Friday in there, the 18th, and I got Christmas Day. Now, no, don't laugh at me for Christmas Day. I took it off of there and I put it back on. I felt bad. And let me just stress right off the bat, both of these are minor, low-confidence events. So really, to be honest with you, between now and the end of the year, there is nothing I see that is exciting for snow lovers. So let me stress that carefully, all right? And then I'll explain why that is the case and why you shouldn't be all bummed out. You'll see why at the end. All right, wind reports. It's been windy, as you know, throughout the day. The highest gust in Louisville was 50 miles per hour during the overnight hours. And then we had Franklin, Kentucky. It's right there at the border to Tennessee, near Bowling Green, 58 miles per hour. I mean, that's the criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning. But these were just showers. Actually, the wind came through ahead of the rain, so this was just wind. So that's why there was obviously no warning. But we did have a wind advisory in effect. LaGrange, Kentucky, 49. That was in the afternoon hours today. Hardinsburg, 48. Campbellsville, 45. Latest gust. We don't have a lot of data for a lot of the sites. Ignore the sites here, say Peoria and Salem, and I believe that's the only one in the area here. These numbers are not correct, but these are to the north here. Still got a couple of gusts in the 30s, including Louisville gusts in the 33, but criteria for the advisory is 40 for a few hours, and we are not seeing that anymore. That's why the advisory has been let go. But yeah, it's still windy out there. Rain showers, a few rain showers off to the north, but those are beginning to fade away. But look at the cloud cover locked in. Now, we're seeing some of it begin to erode a little bit on the western side, and that is going to be a key player for tomorrow's forecast. How much of that is going to erode? Because that it will determine how warm we get tomorrow. If you are in this area, you are most at risk to stay in the 40s throughout the day. If you are south of the area, you have a chance to get well into the 50s. If not, close to 60. Now, the latest on our in-house model here on Futurecast takes Louisville close to the 50-degree mark. Actually, takes us to about 53 for a high, and well into the 50s to the south, and then keeps you guys north. You get some sun, but not to the last minute, but enough to get into the upper 40s. Again, the sun will determine your high tomorrow. I'm knocking stuff over. Get angry. If the sun comes out earlier than expected, you will have a nice, pleasant day. But if the clouds linger, you know how this goes. Especially for those in Indiana, you get in this situation a lot, and the soundings still show what we call an inversion, where the clouds get trapped off to the north, and that's the reason why we need to get the sun up and get the air mixed up enough to get the clearing, and we're going to be hopeful that that'll happen. All right, but then after that, we're going to see a nice little warming trend as we head into Wednesday. Back in the 60s we go. Another wave of showers will kick in. I think it's going to wait, though, until Wednesday night to give us rain showers, and this wave is going to aim itself more northeast than due north, so it's mainly going to impact most of this area for rain Wednesday night into early Thursday versus those you way to the north. But no snow with that or anything like that, and no strong winds, which is good either. All right, but we do have a cold snap on the way. I'm going to move in that night, so we're going to go see Star Wars Thursday night. Dress warmly. It's going to get cold. And then as we head into Friday, that'll be the core of the cold. Will be right over us. Friday afternoon, Friday night. And just as soon as it arrives, it leaves. Transient cold. Just can't stay here very long because the indices, as you'll see in a minute, just won't allow it to. It's going to roll on by. But as it does so, there is still that chance we could see maybe a few snow flurries getting squeezed out. Get a little piece of energy moving through. Now, a lot of this is going to be, well, two areas here to watch. One will be lake effect flurries. The other will be what we call upslope snow flurries that may develop here for the Appalachians and maybe the bluegrass area of Kentucky. So the more north and east you are in Louisville, the better chance you could see a few snow flurries later Friday. Louisville is always the area that usually gets skipped out on this scenario. But again, if you are in, say, Carrollton or Frankfort and Lexington, you could get some snowflakes on Friday. If you're south and west of there, not looking likely. The soundings show just marginal moisture that is taking place. I mean, look how dry we are, how far apart the moisture line and the temperature line are aloft, the atmosphere, and even some dry air at the ground level. So even if we had a snowflake, it probably would struggle to survive without being dried up before it got to the ground. But either way, it's not a big deal. But for you snow lovers, I'm going to take care of it. You know I am. If there's even a chance for a flake or two to fly by your head, then I'm going to at least mention that. And that's why the chance is only 10, and that's probably being generous. All right, the other story, though, is the cold weather. The coldest morning, I think, will be Saturday morning. Lower 20s, likely a few upper teens, cannot be ruled out. So we say goodbye to the cold weather. We warm back up again quickly. In fact, by Sunday, 10 degrees warmer than Saturday. And then Monday, we're back into the 50s, and maybe 60 or so for Christmas week. That's when we got one wave that'll generate showers on the 21st and 22nd. This is the Euro, by the way. We get a deepening low that is going to catch up with this system and really enhance the rainfall and the warm flow. Now, there's a chance we could go well into the 60s. I'm not going to rule out again that we could touch 70 in this kind of a setup. It will all depend on how quickly this all evolves. But this would be for Christmas Eve. We could at 70. Not going to rule it out. It does look wet Christmas Eve. And there could be some gusty winds again and some thunderstorms. Now, the Euro is not as wrapped up with the low pressure. It's about 992 with a low, which means there is cold air behind it, and this is like snow in Missouri. Maybe a dusting for these guys. Now, with the low being weaker, I can't see what the Euro is going to do after this, but given the indices, it would likely take the cold air and move it with the low north and east, and chances are it would be very tough for it to give us anything as far as flurries for Christmas Day. However, here is the GFS for Christmas Eve. A little more wrapped up with the low pressure, but the number's a little lower here for the pressure itself. So because it is a little more wrapped up, it has a better chance to try to push in and drive that cold air in behind it for Christmas morning to maybe give us some flurries for Christmas Day. Snow flurries, especially the more north you are, closer to the low. I know it's a small chance. I'm really stretching here, but it's not wish casting because there is data to support this. I know a lot of my colleagues are making fun of me about this, but hey, there's a chance for a snowflake on Christmas. I mean, come on. You got to put it in there. And wouldn't that be nice? I mean, nothing that's going to impact travel or anything, just a few flurries flying around as you sit around with family after a 70-degree day on Christmas Eve. It's a strange season. I get it. Here are the indices. As you see here, the EPL does go negative for the cold blast that does arrive here Friday and Saturday, so it matches that idea, but then it goes back positive. PNA is staying negative, not good. NAL does dip negative again for Friday. And Arctic Oscillation dips negative again for Friday, but both of those, again, go back positive. So that's why, for really the rest of the year, it is going to be tough to get anything other than this one cold shot that we got to enjoy for Friday and Saturday. And looking at the Euro ensemble, so the Northern Hemisphere, it's still showing more of a ridging here in the southeast. I mean, we don't want a trough here. We need a ridge here for Greenland. We need a ridge in this area, and this is when we would see probably a good chance for a negative NAL to get more of a blocking pattern to drive the cold air into the east, and we need more of a ridging here into Alaska. And the ensembles are not showing it. Now, what I'm about to show you, though, is a experimental product that is coming out of the Euro. It goes all the way through January. These are the potential highs. And this is the main mean of high temperatures. And these are some of the potentials that are in the blue that are possible. And if you notice by looking at this, there is a cold snap potentially showing up here right after the new year. Another one right around the 12th of January, and then kind of off and on for the rest of the month. So there are signs of a flip moving into January and a couple of significant drops potentially showing up. And when you look at potential forecast lows, notice the numbers on the left here, potential to go below zero on the experimental Euro, mind you. And again, these are the extreme solutions saying that. The more smooth that idea says that low temperatures would generally be into the 20s in January. So the experimental products at least look nothing like this. They at least are showing a trend toward colder into January. And another promising sign, and let's hope it holds, is that the latest temperature here for El Nino, it is showing a decline. Now, we've seen this decline before, only to see it rise back up again. But a lot of indications are, and other indices we're looking at, is we are seeing El Nino beginning to go into a cooling phase, which is another sign that a flip is just around the corner, which again is right on par with our winter forecast. It'll be January. So other than that, all we got is cold and maybe a snowflake Friday, maybe a snowflake Christmas Day. But that's it, guys, for 2015. I think we got to wait until 2016 to get a little more excited. All right, that's it for now. Have a good night.